Proper context media. For those who are new, my name is Musa. It's Sincere Day. We're normally a battle rap blog, but today I feel like I needed to have a conversation about some things going on in the media with the brother Kyrie Irving. Hey, so Sin, introduce the
Talk to me.
people to yourself.
My name is Sincere, aspiring battle rap blogger, along with my brother Musa, as well as the co-founder of Proper Context Media. We also missing the third link, our sister. She will be around for more segments, more topics to talk about. But I also do manga, anime reviews, video games, and as well as an aspiring musician. So hopefully, music come soon on the way. You heard?
Right. All right.
But that's not the topic at hand. Let's cater to what we get
So,
to, right, Musa? We're
so
staying
if
at
we
the
can't
least.
if we
Staying
can't
at
get
the
to the root,
least.
there's no need to cater to the branches. So
Mm-hmm.
today's topic, Kyrie Irving. You heard
Talk
about
about
what's going on with Kyrie. I'm pretty sure.
it.
Pretty sure everybody has.
Sir. Everybody's read the
Um,
tweet. Everybody's read it. Shall we quote the tweet?
no need. So my thing is, so they say he's anti-Semitic. So Kyrie Irving been in the news lately for retweeting a movie on Amazon that they say in the Anti-Defamation League and other sources in the media, also NBA and stuff, says that it's anti-Semitic.
Okay.
So they fined him $500,000. So he has to do sensitivity training and this and that, this and that. And
Mm-hmm.
basically, what has happened is
Let's
convicted
not
him and
forget.
they have
Let's,
convicted him in the eye of public opinion. What happened?
let's not forget. He also was suspended indefinitely.
Yeah. They said 5 games, but then they turned around and said indefinitely. But I mean, they said a minimum of 5 games. So, but they have, they have convicted him in the eye of public opinion for a tweet. Now, we're going to get to the book and everything, but I have to ask what makes it anti Semitic? What is anti Semitism? Why is
That's
the
a
book
good
anti
question.
Semitic? But also, are we no matter what, I can't negate the seriousness in which your crimes and your transgressions needs to be addressed. I can't negate the seriousness of that which that needs to be addressed as well. So when I get into the Kyrie Irving
Mm-hmm.
anti-Semitic, anti-Semitism thing, I say, well, what makes it anti-Semitic? I mean, did y'all watch the movie? So when I ask someone why is it anti-Semitic, the first thing they say is
Let's read the definition. That way
no, 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 no,
we
no,
can
no. Hold on,
really
hold on.
cater
Don't
to the
we don't
roots of it.
we don't even got to do the definition because when we talking about anti-Semitic, let's just go. We can go from a definition standpoint. The definition of the anti-Semitic is prejudice against Jews or people of the Jewish community. But for
Mm-hmm.
real, really, the Semites
Mm-hmm.
weren't even the Jewish people collectively. The Semites were
Because
the
now we're getting into the root of the word.
right. So the Semites
Exactly.
is the Canaans, the
Mm-hmm.
Phoenicians, the Hebrews,
Let's
the
go.
Arabs,
Stay
and
in the
then
car with us.
along came the Jews.
Stay in the car with us, y'all. Stay with us.
So now
Mm-hmm.
the term anti-Semitic didn't even come around until 1879. Well, it came in the 1700s, but didn't started gaining traction until 1879 when it was tensions between Jewish people and the German community in Georgia and Austria area in Europe,
That's quite interesting now.
which led eventually to events in World War II. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
50 years later,
Yes, of course.
60 years later, so
Yeah.
when we're
We're not
talking
gonna
about
dig into that. Yeah, go
anti-Semitism and the Hebrews themselves, so the movie is called Hebrews the Negroes.
on. Mm-hmm.
So in the book, it says that the black people are the original Jews.
Of course.
So the people who say that it's anti-Semitic, one of the reasons they say is that by continuing to say that y'all are the original Jews, y'all are saying that we are not, and in turn being anti-Semitic because you're saying that we're lying. So let's pause at that point.
Yeah, let's analyze that. Let's think about that. Let's
So let's
brainstorm
let,
that.
let's you telling me that they say that they're the original people, and by them affirming their original people, you feel like you're being negated as the original people. It only could be one. So if they have their proof and you haven't present your proof if you're truthful. But I'm gonna say this: if you in turn want me to stand and say that Kyrie is lying, which means that they're lying and y'all are the original people, wouldn't that make y'all anti-Semitic as well? Because the thing is only known by its opposite. If they say they're original and y'all are lying and they're anti-Semitic, and when you say that you're the original and they're lying, doesn't that make you anti-Semitic?
A black and white cookie argument, huh?
So
So
I mean, you got to make it make sense. And let's and honestly, we know that the Jewish people, Jews came from Hebrews, because there was no Jews until the tribe of Judah, and Hebrews came out of where? Abraham. Hebrews started at the line with Abraham. But not only that, the genotype and the DNA from that Abraham and that line, that region of people was also found in black people as far east, I mean as far west as Nigeria. So we know that the Hebrew people is from Africa. So the Semite, those are all of the Semite people. So you can't say that I can't agree with you on the fact that, oh, if he says that he's the original, that he's negating. Yes, he is negating that, but he has his proof. As a matter of fact, in the book, a lot of the proof is from your Jewish rabbis and scholars. So if you tell me that he's lying and he's presenting proof from your scholars that says that they're the original people, I need you to denounce the scholars from your religion, the ancient scholars and rabbis from your religion who has stamped it. If you can't do that, then I can't do this.
of course.
But DNA tells us that's we already know that that you know what I mean that you come from the Hebrews come from Africa. Also, Moses was in Egypt. All of this stuff. So, but now you ask the next thing. Why else is it? You know, what I mean, is it another reason? So he says
So that's the first topic, y'all. That's the first thing we addressing. Let's
that's the
let's keep
first
it
thing.
going.
And
That's
then
the
the
first.
second thing they say is when the book says that powerful Jews practice Satanism.
Now enlighten me. What's Satanism? Because that's news to me. What is it?
Satanism, worshiping Satan. So I tell
Oh,
you this:
okay. That's what they talking about. Oh,
the
okay.
Church of Satanism
I
was
thought I thought you said Satanism or some shit
no
like that. Like, I
Satanism.
thought,
So
okay, okay.
practice Satanism. So I say this: the Church of Satanism was founded by Anton Levine. And he's a Jew. He's Jewish. Not to say he represents all Jews, but you can't say that now. Now when we get into the point of pointing out proof, to say that powerful Jews. What about Jeffrey Epstein? He was Jewish, and his whole island wasn't there allegations of people being sacrificed, not only girls being raped and everything else, and you know atrocities and stuff that happened on that island, where people still weren't brought to justice,
Yeah. Talk
and
about
nothing
it.
is still, and nobody's on the hook for it except for him. You know, Jewish people who were on that island with him, people dying and being allegations of sacrifice and Satanism. I
Nothing
mean,
was
so
anti-Semitic then,
when
huh?
he's saying this and he's seeing things that you know what I mean, all of these Jewish people and all these other people in there, and I mean not getting any type of allegations or any type of charges or nothing's been brought to light when there was many people and families affected. But then you want me to say that Kyrie should be in trouble over a tweet and that Jewish people don't practice Satanism when we have a clear-cut example. We have two clear-cut examples there, not to mention, everything else. Then they said, well, they denied the Holocaust. The ADL said, the Anti-Defamation League said that the book denied that the Holocaust took place. Didn't y'all deny the Armenian genocide?
That's crazy.
1 million Armenian people got killed by the Ottoman Empire. Y'all denied, said don't call it genocide, don't call it this, don't call it that. Not until 2007 did y'all recognize it as a genocide and a real Armenian Holocaust.
Talk
Not
about
only
it,
that, not only that, like, okay, if
Thing as themselves.
they don't for real, I'm gonna keep it real with you, to the Jewish people. We don't have time to acknowledge your Holocaust because we have our own and we're still living in it. And y'all Holocaust, most of y'all who are here, not even y'all are not in the same place where the Holocaust took place, the atrocity took place. We have to live in the land every single day where the transgressions have taken place and continue to take place. We have to continue to look in our eye of the eye of our oppressor every single day. While yours wasn't that far ago, and you say that, you know what I mean? Some of y'all say that, oh, I had grandparents that was walked to the death chamber. And I say, you know what I mean? That was a horrible atrocity, but
Horrible, yes,
it
and
was
we
a
don't
horrible.
deny that, and we not putting anything away with that. But like Musa said, we are facing our oppressor every single day.
That's a
But
fact. But
you
then
guys, but not to point out anything, but we gonna base everything in reality here, because I like to speak in reality. My brother Musa just gave y'all the history. He broke it down logically. We gonna talk. He spoke logic. I speak reality. And like my brother Musa would say, we are facing our aggressions every single day. Y'all are not. Y'all, whether you want to say y'all will receive reparations or not, y'all are
they do.
well and well through are wealthy enough and have generational wealth instilled in the family and the community. As far as us, we do not. That is not instilled in our community. So I understand the fight is different. We're not judging you guys or saying anything is here or there. We're just putting things into reality here. You
No,
feel
we
me?
don't do the judging. They do. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. So you telling us to acknowledge we acknowledge whether we acknowledge your Holocaust or not. I'm telling you, that has nothing to do with us. No black people has ever harmed or deprived the Jewish community, but y'all have deprived us and harmed us. Another thing that they were saying was, oh, Jewish people ain't never participated in the slave trade, or they didn't never condone slavery. Excuse me? First of all, what I don't do is I don't separate white people into classes like that. All of y'all are together, especially when it comes to the United States, because I know for one thing that it was Jews in the colonial legislature.
Listen,
Francis
Musa,
Salvador,
that's
who was the first Jew to get killed, 1775. So we know that y'all participated in the slave trade, y'all participated in slavery. What's his name? Judah P. Benjamin, who was the Secretary of State and Secretary of War for the Confederate Army. Y'all had a wave of Jewish people in 1845 going to the Senate and the Congress. What I'm going to tell y'all is this: is that how am I going to stand with y'all when y'all stood on the side of our oppressor? How can I separate y'all? Y'all were in government when they allowed slavery to continue. When Reconstruction came around, Jim Crow,
mm-hmm.
civil rights movement. Like y'all were there. All of us, y'all are there now when we're getting killed in the streets and all this. Y'all were there. Y'all aided and funded or looked the other way. Either way, y'all aided. I don't separate y'all at all because y'all are part of that white the white power dynamic. You know what I mean? The dominant white majority and the untouchable community.
At
And
the
my
end of the
thing is
day, I
this,
stand
that
on that side. At the end of the
if
day.
you say that you want me to stand on this side of you and what you've done to me and my people against him over a tweet. I think you have lost your mind, because I'm gonna say this: what about all of the other tweets? If something's wrong, why is it still on Amazon for one? Why are we in that Jeff Bezos? If
Mm.
something is wrong, it's wrong for everybody. It's wrong for to sell
Why is
it.
Judge
It's wrong
Bezos? Why is Judge Bezos still making money, profiting off
exactly.
this?
Why does he continue to
That's the
benefit
bigger
from it?
question.
Why
That's
does
the
he
bigger
continue to
question here.
benefit from it? And then the person who just retweeted who retweeted it has to pay for it. But he continues to benefit from it. Now, my thing is this: if we're going to get mad and hold people accountable for for movies and shows that they watch, then why are we not holding people accountable for when they retweeted the Jeffrey Dahmer series?
Talk about it.
Because not only was he a murderer, and most of his murders were from the black
Mm-hmm.
community, but also he was not along with them 17 murders. You know what he was convicted of?
Yes. Talk about it.
He was convicted.
Wearing
Oh, I got it right
costumes
here.
on Halloween. Y'all know nasty.
He
Wearing
was
those
convicted of
costumes on Halloween.
sexually assault and enticing a minor. He's a convicted child molester, rapist, and murderer. So when we say, and those people and those families, when the show came up, those families spoke out. Well, because it was
Talk
only
about
a few, and they're not in this community. If it's wrong for one, it's wrong for all. Why didn't y'all say nothing to the NFL and NBA players who was tweeting out about this movie?
Mm.
about a racist serial killer who was eating and killing and raping black people. Then you tell them that it was just part of history. Well, this Hebrews and Negroes has quoted a lot of history. It's very, very well researched. And if a lot of the history comes from y'all, would you want me to say that y'all, I mean, a lot of the stuff that y'all Jewish rabbis and stuff have said, you want me to say it's false? I need you to say it's false. For me to say it's false. No, a black man wrote the book and shot the movie.
Okay.
It's on Jeff Bezos' platform. If y'all telling me that it's anti-Semitic and the book is not anti-Semitic, but if you're telling me that it's anti-Semitic, then and it's wrong for him to tweet about it, then that means it's wrong for it to be there.
Of course. That just makes perfect logical sense.
Because
To
if it's
say
wrong
one
for
or
one,
the
it's
other
wrong for
wouldn't make
another.
perfect
A
sense.
thing is only known by its opposite. You
A
can't
wrong is a
tell me.
wrong.
You can't tell me that it's wrong if you allow it to stay there. I don't see no stand against Amazon. I don't see no, and then I see the dude from Nike, the CEO of Nike on there talking about Kyrie crossed the line. Hey Nike, you don't get to take the moral high ground on this. All of them Asian sweatshops and stuff that y'all been accused of for 50 years. Listen, it's a lot of this in the Jewish people y'all have, and I just don't slight to y'all. Y'all have done every time is a woe is me, woe is me. Look at me, I want to be the victim. I want to be well, y'all have been some of the proprietors of the most vicious crimes in the history of America and the world. Right now, the atrocities that y'all have committed against the Muslims in your
Let's go.
own
Let's talk
country,
about it.
the
Let's talk about it,
Palestinians.
Musa.
Y'all committing some of the most vicious crimes to them now. What about your own people in East? We talking about anti-Semitic because the Muslims or the Arabs and stuff like that, they're Semites too. When you preach anti-Muslim and anti-Palestinian, then that's anti-Semitic too because they're the Semites. But not only that, what about the Ethiopian Jews that y'all treat with just a story broke last year about how y'all are killing and dragging the Ethiopian Jews through the streets. Police, same thing that they're doing to black people here. Y'all doing the Ethiopian Jews there. And
Talk
you want me
about
to
it.
stand on the side of right when you don't even stand on the side of right.
Right? And you want to point out semantics like we weren't part of the slave trade. Like you aren't involved in the system today, in this day and age, and caught up in making profit off of our black pain.
That's a fact. You don't give us access to capital. We got no
So
access to capital, no
let's
wealth.
not
You
point
own the
out semantics.
You
Let's
own
not
the
point
real
out
estate. You own all of the sports agencies. You've got every
semantics. Yep.
single thing,
I know most of
that
the
black
channels.
talent is in.
Most of
You
the
got your
channels.
hand in hip hop. Like you own all of the hip hop record labels. Like at the end of the day, you have exploited because there's a fine line between investing and exploiting. You have exploited and made a profit off our black community while at the same time aiding in our destruction.
Talk
Tosa,
about
all of that. Like y'all didn't play no parts in that.
But that's interesting what you said. What they was doing to Ethiopian people in their country. That's crazy.
The
That's real fucked
Ethiopian
up.
Jews have been crying out for a year. Where is the Anti-Defamation League on that? Don't y'all cover everything Jewish? What about the
But
Ethiopian Jews? Why haven't you said anything? Ain't they your brothers and sisters?
they're picking and choosing, huh?
You're picking and choosing. That's the thing, and that's what they do. It's okay for them to have it on the platform, but it's not okay for Kyrie to tweet about it. My thing is this: is that if y'all think that y'all can do all of these things in the world and think that somebody ain't allowed to talk about it, you're crazy. My thing
I'm
is this:
bugging
that
out.
y'all say all of this stuff about, oh, they denied the Holocaust. This, that. Where was y'all at when they were taking slavery out the history books? We not acknowledging something that happened over there, but y'all here, y'all allow Texas to say slavery out the history book, not acknowledge slavery, not acknowledge the worst crime in American history,
Mm-hmm.
not take accountability for it, but then ask me to take a stand against a brother who's on a book that's full of quotes from your people. Does that sounds crazy? Sounds like you're racist. What it sounds like. What it sounds like is that you can't say that it's a religious you're prejudiced towards religious organization or religious community because y'all been on the anti-Muslim campaign since 9/11.
Oh shit. God damn.
Y'all been on the anti-Muslim campaign since 2001. So we say
That's over a decade,
prejudice
yo.
towards a community just
Y'all
because
know how long is a decade?
just because we don't it's not a term for anti-Muslim like anti-Semitic doesn't mean that it negates the seriousness in which the atrocities occur or the seriousness in which that needs to be
I'm
addressed
gonna create
either.
one today. That's anti-Muslimism.
That's
Like,
messed
come
up,
on
man.
now.
Don't do
Now,
that.
if you're saying from a region standpoint, you know what I mean, the Semitic people standpoint, can't say that either because the United States, y'all been on an anti-Russia campaign since the stuff in Ukraine started.
Now we getting into the root of it, man. Now we not
So,
staring at the leaf. We looking
so
at the
what
whole
are we
thing.
really talking about? What we're
Exactly.
really
So
talking
if we're
about
gonna have this
is that
conversation, let's really have it.
what we're really talking about is this: is that they make this is how they feel. They might not say it, but they say it with their actions. They actually make seem like it's a privilege to make money. Like you will make this money as long as you do what we say,
Allowed to. If
and
you
we
are
can
allowed,
profit, and you continue in our best interest.
because you
And they
continue
even
to
if
Bent to our will.
right,
our
and
will.
even if it's I mean you didn't commit a crime or nothing like that, but y'all they can continue to push principles, policies, and procedures that go against Black America and the Black community. And then when we call them out for it, all of a sudden we can't live a means of a happy. We don't have the right to live a means of a happy life anymore. Take a job,
They
take
can continue
that.
to be prejudiced in a systematic way and show us oppression on an everyday basis. And we have no way of fighting back. We have no way of climbing their corporate ladders. We have no way of attaining generational wealth.
We have no way without their hand dipped in it in some way, shape, or form. If you really
Exactly. You
think
know
about
what the thing about it is that basically they're telling you the same thing they always tell you. You know what I mean? Basically, like it's a privilege. Like if we allowing you to make money, basically, we allowing you to take care of your family.
it. Let's spin the call back around like we were talking earlier. The act of freedom of speech.
That's where I was going with this. So,
Where is the act of freedom of speech anymore, Musa? Where
so
is
I'm gonna
it?
tell you this in
It's like
regards
that
to black people.
amendment has been eliminated entirely.
No, it hasn't. It only been eliminated for black people.
Us. It doesn't make. That's what I'm saying. It's been eliminated, eradicated. Like it
So let
doesn't
me tell you
exist.
why it never existed for us. So I'm gonna tell you why. First of all, you can tell by how they act with you. As soon as you do something, they snatch everything away from you because they feel like
Hmm.
they gave you every. They feel like, you know what I mean, they don't gotta
Oh,
pay
they
you
do shit
reparations
now.
because
They suspend you
they stop making you pick cotton for free and you get to work for $1. They feel like you should that should be good enough for you. But so listen, I'm gonna tell you this. The first when they talk about freedom of speech, Bill of Rights, and all this stuff, one of the
now.
first thing they teach you in constitutional law is
Mm-hmm.
that something for something to be deemed constitutional, if something doesn't embody or express the intentions of the original people who wrote the Constitution,
Talk
it
about it. That's what I like to
therefore
hear.
becomes unconstitutional. So let me
Mm-hmm.
replay that again. If it doesn't embody and express the intentions of the people, the originators who wrote the Constitution, it is deemed unconstitutional. So
Okay.
at that point, we have all of the leaders from, you know what I mean, the start of the country, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams,
Mm-hmm.
George Washington, all of them saying we the people. Black
Abraham
people not
Lincoln.
included in we the people.
Mm-hmm.
Black people aren't included in we the people.
Mm-hmm.
So what's that mean? That mean that a lot of these stuff don't apply to us, right?
Yeah.
Fast forward through slavery when you had Dred Scott versus the United States. He was a slave who owner moved to North America. I mean, moved to the north, and America moved up north. He said, "I'm in
Yeah.
a free state. I should be a free
That's
man."
what he's
He
saying. Yeah.
potential.
That's what being a
He
man.
petitioned to the court. I made it all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled that I can't give you citizenship. Why they went to that constitutional law? It's not reflected into the Constitution, the
Mm-hmm.
intention, but also we don't deem you as citizen. We can't deem you as citizen. We don't look at you as property. The
Mm.
same as cattle. We can't give you those rights. The rights don't apply to you. Even if you were free, you wouldn't be a citizen. You would be a resident.
These are not your constitutional rights.
So listen, so when we think of all of the stuff that black people are lacking and things that we haven't got that other people have got, this is why they're not allowed to give us nothing because they don't want to. They created a system where they wouldn't have to. Because
Mm-hmm.
they built the backside, they built the back of America off of free labor. Why will we then in turn give y'all power to take over us when we know we committed the greatest crime against you, funded our society, created a system in place for us to continue benefiting and you not? Why would we put anything in that to disrupt it? So when we think about civil rights movement, what? It wasn't for black people. Giving blacks
Mm-hmm.
the right to vote. It was encompassing everybody. That's why I was, but only thing that pushed it through was 8 months before that, the women liberation movement, coupled with it, black women stood on the side of the women liberation
bullying and
movement,
all that shit.
pushed that
Yeah.
through with the civil rights movement. And as soon as that went through, the white lady still was like, y'all niggas. So the civil rights movement was for everybody. Affirmative action thought it was for black people. It benefits middle class white women more than it does anything. Every single thing. You got specific. You have specific laws for Asians.
Mm-hmm.
Specific laws
Laws for Latinos, yeah, for white
for
people, for
Latinos.
Jewish people,
Yeah,
for Irish
specific laws
people.
for the LGBT. Specific laws for
Mm-hmm.
Jewish people.
Yep, I know.
Black people can't get a hate crime. We can't get a law. We can't get a bill. Why? Because they aren't allowed to, and they don't want to. For one, they created a system with policies and procedures to show you just so they can, you know what I mean? That could be their you know what I mean, their savior and say, yo, we want to, but we can't. And it's, you know what I mean, it's systematic racism, it's systematic.
It's an oppression, man.
Look at what they did to the Native Americans when they came here and they stole their land from them. They implemented
These niggas.
laws and policies to say that you can't get it back how we took it from you.
Mm-hmm.
This is how it's been. This is what it is with them, and they're the Jewish people, the white people. All of y'all are together because all of y'all have been in this structural government and this dominant system that's been in place with policies and procedures. Y'all all have been there
All
from the
time, man.
inception of it, and none of y'all have came
Hundreds of years.
and
Hundreds of
tried
years.
to stand up for rights of black people. No, because y'all only thing y'all do is negate and affirm that says if you get rights, that means you're going to infringe upon ours. Listen, the history of the government and the United States has been adverse to the black community since its inception because why? They built their wealth and power and dominance off of our backs.
I know. I know.
And
like
because of that, they feel
like
like
to
they're
say
going to
it's-
always
they
have
like
the
to
right
say
to
it's-
dominate over us.
Listen.
As somebody that's also part of the Latino community, a lot of the Latin nation likes to say that America likes to say they built it off of the sweat of Latinos' hard work and shit, and the Asians and the suppression. But as also being black, I understand, nah, bro, that shit is really raised off the black. Like, look how the only way we can make wealth is only entertainment, bro. We're putting screens to entertain people all damn day. That's the only way we can make generational wealth for ourselves, bro. There's no other way. Like, I really sincerely think these things. Like, there's no doctor that I could look up to as a black man that is put on screen as a role model for
I don't
me to
like how
look
you
up to.
put. I don't like how you
There's no
put.
scholar like.
I don't like how you put the minorities in with the Latinos, the Asians. Listen, I'm gonna keep it real. All of them groups have been against black people.
Mhm.
Native Americans owned slaves and soldiers into slavery, so did you. Just like
But
me. Hold on a minute. Wait, let me finish.
Go
The
ahead, go
Latinos, even
ahead.
y'all, you know what I mean, and y'all have aided in the you know what I mean exploitation and detriment of the black community too, while living alongside of us, acting as if y'all like us. But as soon as something happened, you know what I mean, y'all branch out from us, go on, you know what I mean. We all trying to create them Latino laws and them minority things. Y'all aren't including the black community.
I know, of course.
Y'all aren't including the black community. Y'all turn a
But
blind eye to a lot of the stuff that happened in our community while living inside of it. Oh, now the Asians,
Go ahead.
y'all too. Y'all were here to build them railroads, and in turn, y'all got reparations. Y'all got
Yeah, I know.
reparations from World War
They got
II and all of that
generational
stuff, and
wealth.
you
Yeah, they got
still
generational
continue.
wealth.
Y'all can still continue y'all prejudice and y'all disdain for the black community
Mhm.
and stuff like that. Like what we all of the listen, I don't all of them.
Most of
The
those.
whole world has benefited from us.
I feel you. I understand.
The
Before you
Asians are
continue,
in our community. The
I
Jews
only
own all the banks, won't give us capital. Like, and then will expect me to stand with you against my brother because he said something about y'all that's true.
Let me talk. Let me talk. Like I said, understand my plight, my brother. I am a Latin black man in America. I stand on the middle of the fence. I
What
always
was your
look at
father? Black?
my father was black and my mother
So
it
you
was
black?
was Latina, bro. But I was raised Latin my whole life. I wasn't raised around black people my whole life. So for to me, as much as I understand the black, and to me, I feel like I'm black because that's how I was raised in the hood, and that's what I gravitated toward growing up. I was raised as a Latin Dominican kid, so
Oh,
I
and you
can't
was
help
raised
but
as Spanish in the house, but you lived
Spanish
in
in
the
the
hood
house.
with the
But
black people.
I lived in the hood with the black people, so
And
those are
that's the
people that
that's to
touched
be the
me.
problem with the
And I
Spanish.
and
They
I
always in the
and I
hood
stood
with
and
us,
I
but
stood
don't
in
want to be with us.
between. No, but I stand between y'all because I've always been there for y'all fight. I can't say that. I can't say that I even agree with everything that Latin Americans do. I don't like it when Latin Americans that there's a fight between Black and Latin Americans. They want to split apart. To me, we all the same. We all together. If it wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't even be here. That's
That's
how
a
I see
fact.
it.
And
I
Latin
look at
America
my
exploited
as,
more
the,
black
as
entertainment than
me as
them.
a Dominican person, as a myself, I look at it. If it wasn't for blacks and being shipped on that board, what happened? Unfortunately, I would not have been created today. My race would not happen. What everything I love about my culture would not exist. I wouldn't know anything about it. I probably would not be here. I'll be a completely different person today. However, this is the fate that this is my destiny. And I stand in the middle and I love both cultures with my whole heart. And I understand both. And my balance is to try to find a balance in between and find a way to heal us both. Because I love both cultures. I'm not gonna stand in a position where I have to pick one. If I have to pick one, I'm not picking neither. Because that's
No, but
not
it's
right.
different. It's different from a paper cut and a gunshot wound. Which one is you going with? Like we talking about? Listen, I understand the plight of.
Neither. There's always a choice. I'll hang myself. Respectfully, Musa. There's always a choice.
Like I said, there's always a choice, Musa, respectfully. I don't even want to say that, but I'll hang myself between the paper cut and the gunshot wound.
When it
And even
comes
a
to
beautiful
Black
gun.
America, when it comes to I mean crimes in America, like or I mean things that we continue to go through. The Latin people do have their struggles as well. Y'all have y'all prejudices and stuff like that. But let's be for real. A lot of y'all aid a lot of the Latin people aid in the prejudice and the racism against black people too, because a lot of Dominicans
I
hate black
don't
people. A lot
disagree
of
with
a
you.
lot of a lot of
There's a
Spanish people don't
cause.
like
I
black people
know.
the same way white people don't. But wait,
I listen,
black
Musa.
people,
I hear it in Spanish all the time.
but black people look at y'all
There's
like y'all part of
politicians.
us. We always embrace y'all while y'all shunned us.
There's politicians in their fight, on their side of the fight. There's politicians supporting them that push all that shit, that keep us suppressed, that keep us locked up, that keep these rules in place and these regulations in place that could keep us going back to jail for petty crimes and keep us in place. I understand all that, but there's still you from like I tell you that there has to be a balance, a heal or something.
Yo, to me, listen, I separate the black community from the rest of the minority groups.
I feel
Our,
you,
our,
my
our
brother.
fight is different. Our struggle is different.
You love wholeheartedly. You
And I'm
love
just saying,
because
like at the end of the day, like what I mean, like I rock with the Spanish people. I rock with the Spanish people, and I definitely did. I mean, like I don't got no disdain towards them at all. But I
I know
mean,
you call
we're
that.
gonna call a spade a spade. Y'all
I know they
racist
out there
too.
in Chicago too. I know they out there in Chicago too. I know
Yeah,
you
y'all
don't let them
racist too. So I'm like, why am I like what? Like I'm just saying. So my whole thing with this whole thing with Kyrie, no such thing as anti-Semitic. It's a word that somebody used because they felt like y'all, the Jewish people's IQ was lower than the ones in than people who didn't practice the religion.
talk about it. So final statements,
The
Musa.
final statements I got to say, stop targeting the man because that shit feels personal. I don't know what's going on, why y'all targeting Kyrie personally. Like, there's a whole bunch of people that could have been like, I don't know, like I said, feel super personal. Like, fire the man, let the man go, let him live his life, man. Don't.
You got any final
Man,
thoughts, my brother?
my final thoughts is this: Black people don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by the plight of the white media of by the propaganda that they're putting out. Don't be fooled by LeBron James talking about, what I mean, the damage,
Mm,
and Adam Silver talking about the damage to people community. What
talk
damage did the
about
book do? The damage, if the book did any, if the tweet did damage, then what is the book doing? And it's still on there, and I haven't heard anybody complain about it or whatever. LeBron James, you come out and say that he hurt people or whatever, and no community should be hurt. Well, at the same time, you chose your side because him and his family, how his image and everything is being tarnished, and he's being hurt. Well, at the same time, the black community is being hurt because we realize what's going on, and we see one of ours standing on their side, talking about how their communities hurt. How about you try to come and aid your brother? Did you read the book? Did you read the movie? I mean, did you read the book? Did you see the movie? Did you talk to people who, what I mean, presented their truth? Did you get the opposite opinion, or did you just go along with the masses and say he was wrong?
Oh, hold up. Or did you get a call from an agent? Did you get a call from Anderson Silva and
Oh,
told you
I mean, not Anderson Silva from
Adam Silver.
the NBA.
Adam Silva from the NBA commissioner and tell you, hey, LeBron, what's Kyrie stirring up over there? How about you come stand over here with us and come talk to us and take these photos and retweet this and make sure you know he's in line.
Talk about it. Right. You know, I
Right,
know what he did. He
how
listen.
about
He's
that?
he's invested in his own interest. Like he got, when Black Lives Matter and everything was going on, he was so with the people and this and that and put this on your shirt and this and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And then when your brotherhood has some struggles on, I mean, on and off the court, he stood up to the dominant white majority. Said, I'm not taking the vaccine. I don't care. Y'all suspending for 3 y'all paint him in the media to be something. And then when he stands up and says, I mean, I'm original black Jew and I'm gonna stand on it.
Mm,
Are you gonna agree with the master that says anti-Semitic? No,
mm,
what it is that he's been standing up to this dominant white majority, been standing up to the people. He's a rich black man in the media who's been standing up to the people. They don't like it. They're trying to make an example out of him, and they are going to use you to aid the minute. Because as long as LeBron think it's okay, then we ain't doing nothing wrong.
mm.
But we see what's going on.
You
We
see?
see that all of this is propaganda towards that degrading and breaking a black man in front of the whole world just so somebody else won't do it again. It's all in the your vested interest because everything else that goes on that's wrong does not have this much attention. You would have think Kyrie stole $5 million in welfare money from black people or on the poor state in the union. Oh wait, that was Brett Favre just a little while ago. None of this,
Woo! Wrangler
right?
jeans, my people. Wrangler jeans, boy. Listen, on that note, y'all, go follow my boy Real Musa 74 on Twitter. Me, so-called day on Twitter. That was Final Thoughts, Proper
Context Media, getting to the roots. You feel me? Staring at the leaf, don't miss the whole tree. And if you can't cater to the roots, man,
Cut off them branches, boy.